Hey there, friend. Let me ask you something. Have you ever finished a long walk, feeling proud of yourself for staying active, only to notice your knees ache a little more than they used to? Or maybe you've caught yourself gripping the counter a bit tighter these days when you stand up from a chair? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. So many of us over 60, especially after 70, grow up believing that walking is the golden ticket to staying healthy. And don't get me wrong, it's a wonderful habit. But here's the thing, doctors aren't saying loudly enough. Too much walking after 70 might actually be working against your body. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, walking is supposed to be good for me. And it is, to a point. But here's the catch. As we age, our bodies need more than just steps to stay strong, steady, and independent. In fact, relying only on walking could be quietly accelerating aging in ways you might not notice, until it's too late. Today we're going to talk about why that happens and what to do instead. And I promise, it's not about giving up walking altogether. It's about balancing it with a few simple, doable habits that'll keep you feeling spry, strong, and ready to tackle life head-on. Let's start with the first habit your body craves. And no, it's not what you'd expect. Let me tell you about my neighbor, Robert. Robert's 74, and he's been walking religiously for years, rain or shine, 3 miles a day. But last fall, he told me something that stopped me in my tracks. He said, "I can't lift my own grocery bags anymore. I feel like I'm shrinking." Now Robert thought he was doing everything right. But here's the truth. Walking keeps your legs moving, but it doesn't challenge your muscles enough to keep them from fading away. And after 70, that muscle loss, called sarcopenia, is like a thief. It steals your strength, your balance, even your independence, without you even realizing it. But here's the good news. It's never too late to fight back. And you don't need a gym or heavy weights to do it. Let's talk about strength training. Your way. Imagine this. Sitting in your favorite chair and standing up without pushing off the armrests, or lifting a grandchild without worrying you'll strain your back. That's the power of keeping your muscles engaged. Now, I'm not saying you need to start bench pressing. It's as simple as using a resistance band while you watch TV, gentle pulls to work your arms and shoulders, or practicing chair squats, slowly standing up and sitting down, focusing on control. Even lifting a soup can a few times a day can make a difference. The key? Do it regularly. Muscle doesn't ask for much, just a little attention a few times a week. And the payoff? Oh, it's huge. Better balance, fewer aches, and the confidence to keep doing the things you love. But here's the thing. Strong muscles won't help much if your balance isn't keeping up. Let's talk about that next. Let me share a story about my friend Edward. Edward's 76, sharp as a tack, and still tends his garden every morning. But last winter, he slipped on a wet step, just a tiny misstep, and that led to 6 weeks in a cast. Turns out his daily walks kept his legs moving, but they didn't teach his body how to recover when he lost his footing. Balance isn't something we think about until it's gone, but here's the secret. Balance is a skill, and like any skill, it needs practice. Think about it. When was the last time you stood on one leg while putting on your shoes, or reached for something on a high shelf without holding onto the counter? These little moments matter. So let's try something right now. If you're near a sturdy chair or counter, great. Hold on lightly. Lift one foot just an inch off the floor. Feel that? Those tiny wobbles? That's your body's balance team. Your ankles, hips, even your core saying, "Hey, we're here." Do this for 10 seconds a day on each side, and you'll be amazed how quickly your body remembers how to steady itself. Or try heel-to-toe walking, like you're on a tightrope down the hallway. It's silly, sure, but it works. The goal isn't perfection, it's teaching your body to adapt, so if you do misstep, you can catch yourself before a fall happens. Now, I know this might feel overwhelming at first, but remember, this isn't about adding more to your plate. It's about weaving these habits into what you already do. Stand on one leg while brushing your teeth. Practice sitting down slowly, without plopping into the chair. Tiny changes add up. And speaking of adding up, there's another piece of the puzzle we need to talk about. Something that keeps your joints happy, your movement smooth, and your energy up. But we'll get into that next time. For now, start small. Grab that resistance band or practice standing tall while you wait for the kettle to boil. Your future self will thank you. Remember, friend, aging isn't about losing strength, it's about redirecting it. You've got this, and I'll be right here, cheering you on every step of the way. You know, I once heard a saying that stuck with me: a body in motion stays in motion. But here's the twist: how you move matters just as much as how often you do it. Let's talk about something we all take for granted until it's gone: flexibility. Think about the last time you bent down to tie your shoes. Did it feel smooth, or did you have to pause halfway and think, when did that get so stiff? If it's the latter, you're not alone. As we age, our joints naturally lose some of their juice, the fluid that keeps them moving like well-oiled hinges. But here's the thing: stiffness isn't a life sentence. It's a sign your body's asking for a little TLC. Take my friend Harold. Harold's 78, a retired teacher who loves his morning walks. But over time, he noticed he couldn't turn his head to check his blind spot while driving without his neck feeling like a rusty gate. His doctor told him, "Harold, you're not old, you're just understretched." So Harold started spending 5 minutes each morning doing gentle neck rolls and shoulder stretches while his coffee brewed. Within weeks, he said it felt like someone had unlocked his body. And that's the magic of flexibility work. It's not about twisting yourself into a pretzel or touching your toes. It's about giving your joints the freedom to move the way they were designed to. Let's try something together right now. Sit up tall in your chair, or stand if you're comfortable. Slowly turn your head to the right, like you're trying to look over your shoulder. Go as far as you can without forcing it. Now pause there for a breath. Feel that gentle pull? That's your body saying, "Oh, hello, I forgot I could do this." Do this a few times a day, and suddenly reaching for that top shelf or glancing behind you in the grocery store becomes effortless. But flexibility isn't just about reaching, it's about recovering. Let's say you drop your keys on the floor. If your hips and knees are stiff, bending down becomes a chore. But if you've been practicing gentle squats, holding onto a counter for support, lowering yourself slowly, you'll find yourself moving with grace, not grit. Now here's a secret nobody tells you. Flexibility and posture go hand in hand. Ever noticed how slouching makes everything feel harder? That's because a hunched spine isn't just a cosmetic issue. It squishes your organs, strains your neck, and even makes your lungs work harder to breathe. Which brings me to the next habit: core strength. I want you to meet Margaret. Margaret's 72, a grandmother of 5 who adores gardening. But last year, she started dreading her time in the garden because her lower back would ache after just 10 minutes of weeding. Her doctor explained that her core muscles, the ones that wrap around her midsection like a natural corset, had gotten lazy. "But I walk every day," she said. Sound familiar? Here's the truth. Walking doesn't do much for your core. Those muscles need targeted attention. But don't worry, we're not talking crunches or planks. Let's keep it simple. Sit in a chair and place your hands on your hips. Now pretend you're trying to press your lower back flat against the chair behind you. Feel your belly tighten? That's your core waking up. Hold that for 5 seconds while you breathe normally. Do this a few times a day while waiting for a phone call or watching the news, and suddenly, standing up straight isn't a conscious effort. It's just how you are. Or try this. Stand facing your kitchen counter, hands lightly resting on it. Slowly lift one knee toward your chest, then lower it with control. Switch sides. This isn't just a leg exercise, it forces your core to stabilize your entire body. Do 5 on each side while your toast is browning, and you've just given your core a mini workout without breaking a sweat. But here's the best part. A strong core doesn't just protect your back, it improves your balance, helps you breathe deeper, and even makes walking feel easier. Imagine that. Less huffing and puffing, more enjoying the view. Now I know what you're thinking. This all sounds great, but what about my joints? They crackle like cereal sometimes. Oh, we're getting to that. Because after 70, how you care for your joints is just as important as how you use them. Let me leave you with this thought. Aging isn't about losing your spark. It's about learning new ways to let it shine. So tomorrow morning, while you're waiting for the kettle to whistle, try those neck rolls, or practice sitting tall in your chair, imagining a string pulling you up from the crown of your head. Small steps, friend. Small steps lead to big changes. And when we come back, we'll talk about the final piece of the puzzle: how to keep your joints feeling like they've been oiled without giving up the activities you love. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for this one. Have you ever watched a leaf float on water? It moves gently, effortlessly, no rushing, no forcing. That's exactly how our joints want to feel as we age. Smooth, supported, free. But here's the hard truth. If walking's your only move, those joints might be crying out for a little mercy. Let me tell you about Linda. Linda's 71, a lifelong walker who prided herself on her 10,000 steps a day. But last year, her knees started protesting. Stiffness in the mornings, a nagging ache after her walks. Her doctor said something that surprised her. "Linda, your dedication's amazing, but your joints need a break from the pounding." So she swapped 2 of her weekly walks for water aerobics classes at the local pool. Within a month, she said it felt like her knees had been replaced with butter, smooth, no creaks. And that's the thing about joint care after 70. It's not about stopping movement. It's about choosing kinder movement. Think of your joints like precious heirlooms. You wouldn't scrub a delicate vase with sandpaper, right? So why let your knees, hips, or ankles grind away day after day on pavement? Here's your new mantra: low impact, high reward. Swimming, cycling, Tai Chi, these are your joints' best friends. Even something as simple as swapping a walk on concrete for a stroll on a grassy park path can make a world of difference. And if you love walking too much to give it up, no problem. Try shorter, gentler walks with breaks to stretch or sit. Your joints will thank you by sticking around longer. Now let's talk about how you move, not just what you do. Ever notice how a little ache turns into a big groan when you're tired? That's your body saying, "Hey, let's pace ourselves." Listen to it. If your knees whisper enough after 20 minutes, don't push for 30. And here's a pro tip: invest in shoes that feel like clouds. Not the flimsy ones, but ones with good arch support. Your feet are the foundation of every step. Treat them like royalty. But here's the big picture. Staying active after 70 isn't about checking boxes. It's about weaving together strength, balance, flexibility, core work, and joint care into a tapestry that keeps you vibrant. Think of it like a recipe. Miss one ingredient, and the cake might still rise, but it won't taste quite right. Let's bring it all together. Remember Robert, who rediscovered his strength with resistance bands? Or Edward, who turned balance practice into a daily game? And Linda, who gave her knees a vacation in the pool? They're not superheroes. They're just people who decided to work with their bodies, not against them. So here's your takeaway. Aging well isn't a marathon. It's a dance. Some days you'll waltz, some days you'll sway, and that's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's freedom. Freedom to lift your grandkids, to garden without fear, to travel, to laugh, to live fully. Before I let you go, I want you to do something for me. Take a deep breath in and out. Now give yourself a little nod, because showing up here, caring about your health, that's the first step. And every tiny change you make from today onward, it counts. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one habit you'll try this week? Maybe it's standing on one leg while brushing your teeth, or swapping a walk for a swim. Share your plan. It might inspire someone else. And if this video resonated with you, pass it along to a friend. We're all in this together, figuring out how to age with grit, grace, and maybe a little glitter. Here's to your health, your joy, and the adventures still waiting. Thanks for letting me be part of your journey. Now go out there and shine. Your best years aren't behind you. They're right now. If this resonated with you, hit like and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss our next video. Until then, keep cherishing every moment. Here's to better health, stronger legs, and a life full of movement. See you in the next video.